picking, I want to go in a little bit here. We'll do that later. Look at all that picking I got to do. When we do the fingers, I'll be doing more going in. Same with on this side. Let's put our shields up. And in the winter time, it'd be nice to have sun, but not today. Not. Okay, so here we get. Is my medium gonna? Let's see, where are you? Medium, oh, there you are. Let's see what happens. We'll start with the middle finger, or the middle line, and we're just separating. Now we're going against. I'm going to do just a little bit at a time here. About here, I'm gonna. Oops. Let's see, can I recover? Hopefully I can recover here. But since that pinky is clashing into the other hand, we might be all right. Again, we'll adjust later. Middle first. Take a look at okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now comes the delicate. Start with this one. Like I said, you want very carefully 10 degrees in towards you. Come back. Ooh, how are you going to get in there? 10 degrees the other way. You want to get that out of there because you're not only separating and you're putting in a shadow, and it is not working very well. Is it? Let's come again. Like I said, you want the shade and you want the roundness because we're going to use that for the roundness. And we're going to put it this way. And again, it's into the picking stage. And one of the practices is it's a little dent. We'll have to get to that point there. And so many different ways to do the hand, to approach the hand. Now the pinky is going to have to come in a little bit more. While we're here, just come in. Come in, and I think I'm still in the process of rounding. And that would be here. Here. You can get in there, that's going to be a problem. A little bit of chip here, like I said. If we can see the hole, that's okay. You see the hole here, that's okay. I can get in there. What do we got for a chisel? There we go. Oops. He slid right off. Now you can a little bit in with the index finger, middle finger, or ring finger. Did I round all of them? I don't think so. I'll have to come back later. Now here, let's do the tips of the finger. Just round, just a little bit of rounding. Come back. Yeah, this is really geez, my knives are not very sharp. Ooh, I just took some of that off in there. Now, what are we going to do about this? Now, the pipe is going to hide a good chunk of that, but what we're going to do is just come here and take this kind of a chunk out of here. How can we do that? Let's take a small chisel and see if we can get in there. That's going in the wrong direction, but that's also going in the wrong direction. But here, now the wrist is going in. Pinky comes to an end. A little bit of roundness. And whatever anomaly that if it doesn't look that good, it's going to be covered. But we still want to do a little bit of roundness here. Oh geez, which direction is the wood? No, it's not that way. Just a little bit of roundness. So I'm going to shrink the pinky a little bit. And again, we're picking and a grinning. Now, like I said, some people, I just like to add just a little bit of, where are we? Whatever happened to my small? I've been using my little chisel. Here we go. My small number 9. Which direction? And you want to add that knuckle. Which way is the grain? When you feel like it's going to collapse, it's going to break on you. That's not the right direction. Wider chisel, I think it's this one here. Now this one here, this is way not sharp, and I haven't had a chance to sharpen it, but the wider the chisel, the better. And not too wide. And then pencil marks to take off. Fingers number 1, hand number 1 and fingers. Still a bit of shaping and chiseling and what have you in. Well, I took a little knife sharpening break here, and let's see if that'll help. That'll help things a little bit, help things along. There. Light here. Let's see how far I can go right there. Gotta get as close as I can. Okay, again, we're going to start with the, well, that's a little easier. Kind of like 10 degrees one way, because what we're trying to do, shadow, separation, roundness. I'm going to give it a little more pinky room here, I think, but that's going to be a lot of adjustments. Oh, I didn't go down all the way. Keep working at getting that out of there. See, with on this side, it's kind of hard to handle this thing. Be careful not to do too much prying with the blade. That does dull the blade too. All right. So just scoop a little. Scoop a little for some roundness. So that index finger isn't looking too lively there, too realistic. I do want to have a separation here. I want to be careful. I do, even though, like I said, if it breaks through, we're okay here, but I still don't want to. And again, this is picking, and I do want to get some of that pinky out of there. Okay, well, we're down here. I think we still got around the other side. Which direction do we go? Like I said, if you feel, and then I want to go in a little bit. If you feel the wood giving, you're going in the wrong direction. Now, let's get to this. First, let's round this a little bit. Round this. Now, here's where we really are concerned with having some sort of a thought of a thumb. Is, where's a V? V, or where is my, no, he might be too big. Well, let's try him. My number 11 here, 5, is if you do something like this. Yeah, now I think I need my V. Oh, here's my micro V, might as well use it. Got it. And again, the pipe is going to sort of bury that. And so you still need, oh, what is that? I got a big fly around here, just landed on my chest. Scared the bejeebers out of me. Now, everything is about picking and cleaning, and which I will do at another time. And not waste yours if you can get under there with your knife. Chisel, or, there you are. Okay, I'm going to leave this now. I mean, there's a lot of picking and a dissing and a little bit of adjusting. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot this. It's got to go past, so you're making the knuckles. Sorry about that. Now, I did sharpen this one. Let's see if it is sharp. I mean, oh yeah, that's much better. Again, much of adjustments and picking and a grinning and this and that, but I am going to leave that before I draw. Yeah, there's quite a bit even here, but I want to be careful I don't break through. Oh, here. That'll help. Need to look a little more normal, but I still got a lot of cleaning and a digging, and because here's the other thing too is as I'm digging here, I need to dig here to kind of match the shirt. But I am, like I said, I want to put that away for now and get to that bag. Oh, pick later. My goodness, picking. Plenty of it. Okay. Now the bag itself, I think, is a bit, in some of the pictures here, is a bit too big. But I want to round it, and the thing is, it doesn't look like he's got anything in it. Is there it's a bag, but there's nothing in it when he poses. So first, let's shrink it up a bit. And again, for the umpteenth, you probably have a better pattern than I do. And I want to round that. It doesn't look like it goes too far back. But I want to keep this way to round that. And the reason why I have this a little longer than it should is because it's got these little things hanging down. And we're going to represent it somehow. And I think that's a good place to start. But if I were to whack-a-doodle this thing off, there's that. Then what I want to do is I want to round it a little bit. Actually round it a lot a bit. And, oops, careful I don't hit that arm. And after I round it, I think I got, as long as I got the shape. The top, I'm not sure how the top looks. I think it does go straight. This thing here says it goes straight across. But then, is that the pattern? That's below the arm. That's much more sharper. I do want to shrink it quite a bit this way. See? And with a little bit of roundness to it. I still think, see if I can round it a little bit this way. Despite that, I think I'll give it an extra. It's still a little, because I don't want it to ruin. It's going to come down to here, so make sure I don't ruin that. This is going to be some separation right there is where I want it to end. Right now, first I want to shape it, and then we're going to take what I see here. We're going to take a round chisel, more of a flatter round chisel, and I mean this is not like canvas or something like this. Is even canvas I would assume would have some bends. A little more thinner. All right. And again, we're shaping for the sake of roundness. And of course, if we can get a shadow in there, we'll do that a little later. Slip that back in there. Same with here, with the vest. Careful with the fingers. I think what would have been more prudent would be to done this bag first and then the hand, because we're hauling a lot of, whacking off a lot of lumber here, and don't want to get too carried away and hit those fingers. That's a big chunk. Now the reason why it still looks a little bigger, here I'm going to clean this first, is because we got this little thing, these little jarberdoos things hanging down there. Trying to tassels, there we go, I was going to think of it, that's, I had a brain fart. Now here, pencil. V-tool. Where is my V-tool, roughened V-tool? Get in there with this V-tool, just barely. Coming in here, coming in here. Oh, let's clean this first. I think that I may need my, there we go, detailing knife, but at least I've got it out of there. Where is my regular V? Now, I'm gonna just a little bit here, but this is gonna also get into the picking stage here, picking and adjusting stage. Using there, and most of it out of there. Same with on this side here. See, I keep adjusting one. I'm here to do the bag, but run into taking care of everything else around it. More picking later. RKO. oh, I'm sorry, not done yet. Rounding off the back a little bit. While we're here. A little bit of the vest here while we're here. Still a little more arch. Come back to it later. There. Oh, did I get off screen again? What I did was separate and round. There's still, like I said, picking, cleaning, picking and choosing and choosing, picking and grinning and. Okay, pencil. I think I'm okay with it. Oh, no, I'm not. Before pencil, I want my wide number 5 to start with. And I want to find the right direction of the grain. And this is one of those, I think, where it works one way, and then you come to that point that works another way. We'll start with this. Put some dents in it. Fabric dents in it. Then let's get the one we just sharpened. Where did you go? Is it this one here? There goes some more deepness. A little more roundness. Upside down. I'm not particularly sure how it opens. Is there? Oh, I assume there is an opening, but I don't think there's a flap. I'm not sure. All right, pencil. Ooh, see one of these. Get one of these out of there. Flaps out of there. That flap. Let me see. It's about here. And I'm going take, and then I think I might, no, that's good, because what I want to do is I want to do this. Let's get the V. The V, so this kind of almost represents the bottom of the bag. And then this represents those beads and the fluff. Beads on the bottom, and the tassels on the top, which in reverse, pardon me. Okay, now here we go. Now we have the beads on the top, tassel on the bottom. All right, now this is mini. I'm thinking as long as they're even, we don't have to get the calipers out or anything like that. Whistle in. So we got separation. Now here comes the tedious part of this project, I suppose. Depends on how much you want to put in it. I definitely want to separate. Demonstrate that there's some separation here. Now, here's the tedium. Now this seems to be lower and needs to be really separated farther apart, is what I see. A little bit of roundness. Again, because there's a lot of bit of, and then this frays out. So now it's got to come in with the bead. And it frays out. I'm not going to do all of these. Where is a smaller, well, any kind of a chisel, and kind of give it the impression that, there you go. Because I'm going to leave that here. You got it. This is tedious. We'll do one more. This has got a lower. And then you got to dig to separate them, because it's got to be smaller than the round it. Round it. Then, oops. I think I took off two more than I could chew here. Maybe what you could do is you do a lot of one first, and then the beads first, and then the tassel later. I really prefer, again, not wasting your time doing each and every one, but if I can do a couple here. One more. Again, this is lower, wider separation, roundness, rounding of the bead. Bring this in. Now this has got a fray out, splay out, is that what that's called? Oh, right here. Chisel. One or two, very light. And then cleaning up. Lots of pickings. I think there's like 3 of them right there. And you may want to, when you're done, do this. So it's separated. If you can get a chisel in there. Okay, let's do a little more pickings. So there we are. Kind of raise the bead, or bring the bead down a bit. Separate pretty wide. Separate a little wider. Round it as much as you can. Fray this out so it's kind of, you know, upside down V. And you can see if you can get a chisel in there and do all of that. Now I think that'll take care of the bag because I want to move on, obviously, and I want to get into, while we're here, it's like I said, when we get to one thing, I want to be done with it, if can, and then other than, you know, a little detailing or cleaning up or stuff like that. But I want to get to the shirt, or vest, I'm sorry, vest and shirt. I think this could be thin. I believe that can be thinned. Get a little bit thinner here. We'll get to the head shortly. We do have this issue to contend with. I think we'll work it a little more when we get to the collar, or one of the last things. I just moving on to the big stuff, or the next big thing. And I I just got something started here. I gotta finish it. I gotta take a chip out here. You don't have to do this part. I just got carried away because we will be doing that when we do the neck. Because I want you to pay attention when we do get. Oh, I'm sorry. Pay attention when we do. Good thing you didn't see that. I got too carried away here. Like I said, this neck is going to come up. The head is down, and so this might be a little too bulbous right now, but you're going to keep his head down because he's looking at something. And you'll see it at the next video what he's looking at. If I already didn't give it away, of course. So we're going to put in some extra. I'll put another one of these in. Then I want to put one of these in. And of course put some other dents in. Because this here is the, again, this is the shirt sleeve. We'll get to the, again, a little more separation. Just a wee bit more. Now with that, I want to put the reverse in. Put some nice old shirt dents in. Same with on this side, there's still a little bit more separation because we did get through. So we might as well use it since we've got extra on this side. Let's take that out of there. So, pencil marks off. A little bit more here, be careful. There we go. Careful with the prying, you'll lose the tip. Now we're only doing the sleeves because it's a shirt. Oh, another one of these. Where are you? Some dents. Let's do a little bit of this. If I do this, it'll make that. There, bring it up a little bit. It does make this arm a little longer. Maybe put in an extra one of these. Let's put some dents like. I think this goes up like this. Same with on this side. Nice Sharpie. Oops. Got a little bit of the one here. Take off some knife marks. right? Put in some dents. If you want to work on that a little bit, go ahead. And that hole there a little bit, I probably that's in the picking and the choosing stage there. Okay, now what I want to do, I think I can get through here. And maybe getting through here. I'm getting close to it. Oh, I am. This is the one that I'm going through. I thought this was the second one. I'll pick at it later. Oh, we are. The next is the vest. Now the vest. Now they all have vests. Or not all have, but that. He has a vest. And so I put a vest on him. One of these days I'll make a real full-blown kind of a Native American. Right now I'm just focusing on some of these pictures here. So the vest is going to reveal the collar, but most of the collar we'll get a chunk of the collar, I suppose. We could. So I'll clean the vest a little bit here. The vest comes down. We're going to have to get in there. Where's my medium V? Medium size V. Get in here, I think is a little bit. Careful of those fingers we just created. Careful of the fingers we just created. Uh-oh. Get the knife in there. Use my smaller knife. Careful of those fingers that we just created. Now, I'm not too concerned about this area here, because when we do the head is when everything will come together. But I do want to do this. I want to do this. And I am not going to put any buttons in. Buttons are going to be painted in. I've mentioned before that the flat plane carvings people, what they do is they drill a hole where the button is, so it's in reverse, and then they shove a dowel in there, cut it off and round it a little bit, and there's your button. I think I may have broken through. May have, but that's okay. Well, number one, it's okay to be there. Number two, nobody's going to see it. Again, back to the pickings. But not only are we going to separate here, let's just start it. But we're also going to, where are you? If that's just kind of a separation, there'll be a button there. I think there's still going to be quite a bit more on the legs that we left behind. I think I'll take care of this right now, since we're And I want to kind of add a little bit of a bow while we're here. Let it bow up. And we're going to do some, first I'm going to do some cleaning straight down. And we're going to do some, actually I want to bow a little bit because I want that back. Let's see, needs more bowing. We're going to do some undercutting, but before we do that, I want to take my, let's take a little round, just a little bit, just enough to put a dent in for the butactyl. And we've already done this, we've already did some rounding. As we could with the bag. A lot of cleaning. Now here is a couple of things we missed at the pants. We're going to do the same thing here as we did, as we're going to do with the vest. It's just nice, clean, straight down cuts for starters. And if you can, a little bit, just a little bit of undercut, even though that's why you don't want to waste too much time, because it's going to be standing and nobody's really going to be looking at that. But we'll do a little bit more with the vest. And we want to round this a little bit. Take the knife marks off, and what we want to do is put some dents in it. Put a little bit of this in it. And it's not going to be perfectly round, but at least start with it that way, and then we will work our way up. And if you can get just a little bit of a, if you can, a little bit of a shadowing in there, up. And then we're going to do quite a bit of imperfection. Quite a bit of picking as I keep talking. And so let's use our little round tool here to get some of that imperfections off of there. You don't want that to be too rounded. Let's bring this up a little more with that little dent there. Let's something like that. And we'll do it on the other side very, oh, this is more of a quicker and come back later kind of a thing, because I think I want to finish the vest. We finished the vest. You know what that means. Time to move on to the head. And you know what? I think what I might do is I'm going to leave this and do it later. Because you got the, just as long as you got it, you go all the way around, put all kind of dents in it. Time to get the pencil marks off, rounding at this point. Undercut if you can. Pencils if you can. Pencils, what do you do? Want the pencils out of there. Now, one of the things that I did neglect, when you figure out that the knee is about here, so therefore we want some knee bentness. And we want some Sharpie, a little bit of Sharpie here, where the knee is. Get a nice Sharpie here where the knee is. At least one, maybe several, but I think one is probably good enough because we got a lot of clump in here. All right. Guess I went on a little more than I should, but all right, let's take a little look-see. This one here is the semi-finished, unless you want to. And again, if you want to put some, while we're here, let's put some dents in the boots. Oh, what am I doing? No, that's not boots. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was thinking about the last carving. Might want to round it a little more. Actually, probably thin it a little more. While we're at it, I just kind of left it after a while. So I'll be thinning that a little bit more. Almost. Good thing I caught it. You were probably going, ugh. But you can dent the pants. Now, what I did with the, like I said, let's do a nice sharp, if you can. Be careful. Nice. I'm getting back to the vest. Nice sharp undercut. Nice sharp undercut. And here is going to be a bigger undercut because, like I said, I wanted to lift it. And that adds a nice shade to it. There. Now these pants, would they have pockets? Would they have pockets? Actually, that pocket is hid. You probably could put in a pocket. Which way? I'll just put in one here. Because it would actually be about here. No. No, the first one was right. V. In other words, I want this back. There we go, just one. We'll just put one in. Now, as far as the crotch, is going to come in quite a bit more. And more separation. Oop. More separation, but I don't want to have too big or sharp of a crotch area. More dense. Now again, the roundness. I don't know if I put this. We could probably put the zipper in there. Oh, I got to finish this. Sorry. Undercut. Almost forgot. And undercut. Way undercut. Sorry about that. We can get back to the crotch in a second here, because if I get focused on one, I'll forget the other. Okay. At least I know that there is a separation. I said separation. Same here. I'd like to, while we're at it. A little extra separation and a little bit of this off. More picking and a choosing again, picking and a grinning. Okay, now at the crotchal area here, what would happen with just this kind of a little bit of a roundness? And let's see, the zipper is on the right side. I think I goofed up on the last carving. Yep. More open on this side. And bring this down more. Here all I care is just oops. This is just maybe a little bit of a V there. Doesn't have to be too deep. Now everything is getting back to picking. Now for the back pocket, I'm just gonna either leave it or do something like this. Like the vest is over. Hint of something that says there's a pocket there. And I think I need to widen this a little more. I gotta do a little bit of adjusting myself. I gotta come over this way so oops, not lean, but there we go. I said it's a vest, and mostly the thing that's kind of interesting is there's only one, because this covers, there's only one spot that says that we need to say that this is a vest. The hair covers the back. And it's very interesting, there's only one spot that says, and that would be right here. This is covered with my little just please do something like that. But that, like I said, I'll be fixing that. So with the exception of, see, like I said, I want to get to a point, and this is kind of supposed to be a thinner cloth. So if we do make any adjustments, make sure you thin it. Again, let us straight down, and if we can, a little bit undercut, a little bit. Now the vest, I'll work with the vest as I'm working with the head. I think I might, what I'm going to do is do the head and then come back to the collar of the vest. But up until now, I am at the point of saying I'm done, with the exception of picking, choosing, grinning, whatever you want to call it, digging and adjusting. All that really is left is the head. And make sure that comes together here with a little, hopefully a little bit of undercut, a little bit of shade. Get in there with my flat tool. And that was my flat tool. I got this flat tool. That'll work for maybe a little while, because I gotta separate the, there we go. Well, we're getting there. Whoops, went the wrong way here. Adjust to take some look-sees. Oh, here's, like I said, let me, some nice look-sees of everything here before we move on, so we don't have to, other than picking and adjusting and so on, because I do want to move on to the head. So what we got thus far, and we'll figure on the piece pipe. Like I said, the piece pipe is just a matter of your, depends on how ornate you want to do it. It's a matter of taking your saw, you cut off a piece, you take that piece and you take and you drill a hole on both sides for your toothpick, and you glue it. And then what you're going to do on this end is just flatten it out for a mouthpiece. I believe he's got something like that. Instead of flattening, we'll flatten it. He's got some little extra thing on the end where the mouth is, but I prefer to flatten it. And I don't know how much more you want to put on detail on the piece pipe, but we'll be doing that, or I will at least show it. There's a lot of picking, I got to get the visor on and my picking knife. But like I said, next stop is the head. much of that thus far. All right, let's dig into the face here, the head. I could see I got some issues right away that I need to get into right away. I got my little go-bys here that I've done before. It's a start. I mean, I think I've gotten quite a bit better since this one, but this is a good start. Oh my goodness, I could do better than that. That's old. 2016. Wee. This one I try to do a little bit of more adjustments. Still not right. But we move on. Now I do a little bit of, I mean, I will rely a little bit on this guy. The one thing that's different is, of course, we have, I'll move this forward here a bit. We have larger cheekbones, the Native Americans do. My light is not cooperating as well as I want it to. Let's move things around a little bit here. I think I'm making it worse. So I'm going to go kind of mostly with this, with a little bit of width on the cheekbones. Now I suppose I should have got it closer with him, and I think I'll go with that. And with that, I'm going to start in with, I got to put this back in, make sure this is in. And every time that I deal with turning or twisting the head, I always make sure that the head is straight. Move the body so the head is straight. In other words, don't carve according to the body, carve according to the head. And I'm pretty well confident on the head being down like this. I will have to come back later. I am sure it'll be something like this, as your pattern will show. And so I want to start with the face. We're going to do a outside in. So I want to come in, and now it's going to go something like this. Because I'm a little concerned about this, the mumps here. He's got the mumps. I'll just leave that there so I can see it. So I'm going to get this shaped. Yeah, that's a little better. First steps of shaping the head. I think I might do a little more of this. Now this particular character does not have the ear that we have to carve. It does got the ear, but it's hit. So I think we're getting there now. And what I want to start with, I'm trying to get the feel. I think if I would have just whack a little bit off here so I can get my bearings here. And I think, yeah, again, this is another spot that I'm whacking away here that you probably are not. So bear with me. Even narrowing it a little bit would be nice, just a little bit. And I think if I were to, now I want to bend it down more. There we go, a little shapey. Little shape in here. Because the reason why I got too carried away with that bump is we want it to be turned. So yeah, I'm doing a little bit of shaping that you probably don't have to do. All right, continuing on. Bring this in a little bit. There we go. Now I want to get the eyes and nose in first. I mean, we got the distance here. Let's say distance, shape, because I do want this to come in a little bit to make sure that his head is tilting this way, tilting and turning. And again, that neck is going to come up. Up. But again, I want to get the eyes and nose in first. I just keep doing this and doing that, but let's get into it here. Now, I kind of believe, I think we're going to have to work oops, I got that backwards. Almost had the Eddie Munster look here. All right. How many times do I have to say all right before I get started? Because I just like to take chunks off to keep me on the right track. So, the distance, the top of the head. So the head is about an inch and a half. So therefore, we want about 3/4 inch, which is going to be right there. Like I said, I'm going to gotta bring the feet up, but when I bring the feet up, it's in the way of my wrist. And the nose is about a third, almost half down. Because, yeah, he'll have the nose is actually as a third down realistically, but this is more character. And I like to do it almost half because you can always take some of that wood back. So here we go. First things first, get that nose. Oops. And that's why it's kind of too much forward angle on you here, is because he's looking down. I got this as far up as I can, and then I want to take just a which is about a 30-degree angle, give or take. So we're still right on track here. And again, with quite a bit, and a lot of this is going to be with that. Sorry to interrupt. Now we're getting there. And again, you have a cleaner pattern than I do, and you have to do some of that. All right. Put the eye line back in. Nose, let's make a nice wide nose. Oops. And as I've done before, I like to put in, take this out via chips, and it's a lot easier to put the round tool in there than as using the round tool. When I get to rounding out with the round tool, I'll show you how to do, if you want to learn how to do that straight in using the round tool without the tip of the knife. But it's more difficult to teach than it is to do. And I got this one here. Oops, and that popped right out. Oh, that's because of the angle of the wood. Why didn't you get this one here? Now again, I'm carving away from the brow, away from the from the nose towards the eye. Now I'm going to, because remember this is supposed to be triangular. Coming in. Like I said, this one here began to pop. Usually, it's not usual that it would pop like that, but I think it's the angle of the wood here. I'm going to go up. Just shaping. Look it upside down, but we'll have to come back a little later on that. And then I'm going to come in like this. And take that hourglass out right at the eye line. And so we're like this. Let me get an extra one in there. Extra one of those in there. And then I want to take this out. That's like a right triangle. And I've done this face many times, so Go back to some of my videos and do this. Try to make this as even as possible. Now I do want to take the round tool and get it going here. Get the eyes. Now I got that one is one. This one is another. And this one here I probably will start with. This is my number 11, 5 mil. And I'm going across the nose. See, I'm cleaning out, is what I'm doing, is I'm cleaning out all the straight marks. And all the other fur. Just kind of rounding the nose a little bit. And I think I might have to bring this down just a little bit more. Because the nose is still a little not as long to this. Because the the head is in a weird angle is the reason why it's kind of a little more difficult than my Santas. Oh, we got the kids outside, neighbor kids. Now I want my number 9, about 4 mil. Let's see, can I zoom in and it not being a disaster here? Upside down, just around. Upside down, just around the nostril. Now I want to use this tool. I need to do a little bit more cleaning here, a little more straightening out here. Oops, where are you? And you know, it cuts kind of funny because the wood is at the wrong angle. At the weird angle, of course. Go a little deeper and a little cleaner. Because it's not working. I mean, well, it's working, but it's just too furry here. Where is my brush? I see everything here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, kind of goofy, but we're still good. If I go at this angle, then I could see that if I were to use this tool here, and like I said, we want to get it deep here. A little deep here. Now we're kind of skirting around the base of the nose. There. All right. The forehead, I think I'm going to take a little bit of the forehead off, just a little bit. because if I take a little bit off, that brings it up a little bit. And I don't want it to go up too far, but it'll help with the hair issue I have up here. Keep adjusting and adjusting. Because that is really weird. Because there's a weird angle with this, the way that the head is bowed. All right, moving right along. First thing I want to do is now what's going to happen is, before I put the jaw in, I got to put more. Right here. I'm going to keep in mind we got the high cheekbone there, but I just want to kind of round this up a little bit. Now let's see there, profile is getting a little better. Now I want to start working with the mouth. I want to make this side the same as this side. Now I can see how far in that is. Now the question is this out or is this in? I think it's a little too much. Here. Careful with that cheekbone. I think I got it. Cheekbone's a little too low here. Now what I want to do is this here. Is this part here. This come down like this. So it's about at the eye. And there's like just about a little bit more of the width of the mouth. So what I'm going to do is this. About at the eye, like this, starting to happen. Oops, I buried the tip. I did it again. Took off the cheekbone on that side. I think we still got plenty of room. I think if we bring it in here, there. Keep working with it. We'll keep working with it. Now I got we're going to get the cone started, but before we do, I want to do one of these. And one of these. All right, working. Getting there. Do that to match the other side. So what do we got so far? A few more light on the subject. We still probably have to clean out the eye a little bit there. This one. Bring the eye out a little bit because we want to keep this three-dimensional now, because you should be able to see the eyeball when you look. Now the other thing that I can see here is I think I might need a little more this. Yeah, that's better. And I think we're ready to move forward here. Pencil. Now he's going to have a little more of this. We're going to shape the cone, and I think the cone of the mouth could be a little more sharper. Again, let's put that one thing I did neglect to do is let's take our number 9 and just barely hit about 40 degree angle this way, about 30 to 40. 30 to 40 this way. And we're just going to bring the nose back a little bit this way. I want almost some sharpness into the nostrils. And we will come back later for that. Now it does appear, I mean, I like this one better. It's a little too wide. This one is what I want. And I want to start taking my small round tool. There we go. We're starting the cone. Now I do want to, where's my, yeah, there we go, let's take this knife. And I want to really put this in here now to help shape the cone. Just this little, there we go. Where we are rounding the nostril and making this a little more sharper. Now what I want to do right away, after I get that out of there again, is I want to shape the upper mouth just a little bit, just to get it started. Now, as I've mentioned before, is when you start doing the mouth, you want to not pry any pieces out of there, just because if you pry, you may take that lip out. But in this case, this is just to get started on the top, because Let me do it. Let me do one of these. Now something is not right. That's a little better. I think it's probably the trick of the shade. The lip is right up here. And it is about where the eyeball is. I think I have to move that center line a little bit. I think I'm still okay with the tilt, but we can still tilt. I mean, the nose will tilt in the direction of the nose because the nose, I don't want to do any more adjustment to the nose. And it's still good. And the eyeball will be about here, the eyeball will be about here, and that's the distance of the mouth. Now what I like to do is I like to take a small V and come across to take the pencil mark out. Start. Be careful when you get down to this side because it's against the grain or the wrong side of the grain. Like I said, if it feels like it is breaking away, come back in the other direction. No, that doesn't work either. In this case, because the grain is really screwy coming at this kind of an angle. All right, now carefully and firmly, you're going to take, like I said, number 10 degrees, and you almost want it to go straight across. In other words, like if you go like this type thing, you want the, let's see if that'll help, but I don't think it does, because I do want to get deep in there. Deep in there. Now next step, there's quite a bit more adjustments, but what we're going to do is take our small round, a number 9. It's going to come up here. It's going to come up here. But before I do that, I want to put this. Now the upper lip is very thin. Upper lip is very thin. And then I want to do this. And then I want to do this. Which way does that? Some more adjustments here and again. And the bottom lip is going to come like this. Oops, careful, don't pry. One more bottom lip on this side. Is there too much on this side? Is it too much on one or not enough on the other? There we go. It's looking pretty darn good so far. Don't breathe. Don't breathe. I think I might just a little bit more on this side, just a little bit. Okay. Like I said, we're gonna take that small round tool, number 9, whatever that is, about a 2 mil, and carefully come across. Do not bury the edges or because when you bury it in it really breaks. But just feel if it's the right direction, and just a little bit. Just don't take it and give it a quick run. Now here's what's going to be difficult, because you gotta, better probably this way, like right about here. And come on back. This way. And hit that. Now there's adjustment here and there, but before we do that, one of the things about the lip, the bottom lip is, of course, bigger or wider, thicker, that's it, than the bottom lip, but we still got to round this this way. And what happens is that right up here, this is where you got to be careful. That bottom lip tucks under. Okay, that does come out without. And again, the bottom lip will go this way. And it tucks under. Be careful about prying. I am going to basically leave that alone, except for one thing. We're going to move on. Is this direction. We're going to come, we started here and went up, now we're going to start here and go down. Again with our small round tool. Oh, I'm sorry. Right here. And where's our small round tool? Number 9. And you're going to go beyond. And I'm using the fingertip because I have, I think, more control and of the delicacy of what I have to do here. And now you're starting to see how things are starting to shape. Now I'm going to take a bigger round tool. And a knife or whatever you could use to take the edges off. Now I just want to carefully take the pencil marks off, rounding the bottom. Maybe just a little bit towards my, that's if I want to use my little micro, where my micro work. At this area here, it's a little, need a little bit more here. So I am going to leave that for now, with the exception of I still want to take the pencil marks off. Now I got that little thing in his mouth here, but you take the knife, don't, whatever you do, don't pry it. Take it out of there. Cut it out of there. I think I went too far here. Where are you? Right here. Now you've seen others what they'll do is they'll put a triangle in there, either down or up. I'm just going to leave it like that. Or let's see what he does. He's got kind of a triangle at the edge, but I'm going to leave that for now. Now, the Native American, I want to do this. Here's where that cheekbone is going to be. I want to make sure that I have that, or if I get carried away, because the way I'm going to do that now, this side is going to be a little easier because all I have to do is this. That cheekbone's going to come out. Let's see if it's the same on this side. A little bit, but am I allowed to do that? Yeah. And then a little bit down like this. Oops, where's one of my round tools? Oops, careful where that goes. That green goes. All right, not bad. I think we may have to do some adjustments. I think one is a little higher than the other because I think it's which one is right and which one is wrong. A little bit this way. A little bit this way. Well, I'll come back for adjustments a little later. Now I'm going to try to put some eyes in, and this is going to be a bit difficult. Before I do that, I want to make sure everything else is good. The neck, eye is going to be the last thing. And what I want to do is that where the shoulder comes down, this is like the deepest part, and that's where we're going to get our collar in there and our neck. And I just want to do a little bit of, just a little bit of feet cutting here. I want to take some of that knife marks out of there. Same with on this side. Where are you? Right there. Clean up the hair a little bit. Because what's happening is that the neck, the jaw will come up to the ear, the front of the ear. So since that ear is hidden, we'll just do a little bit of this. That's all we have to do. Now here's the kind of the opposite. I need to get some of this out of here first. So I can get of course, my bearings and see what I'm doing. And it's got to come up. Remember, we got the head. Now, what happens is that where are you? Is that what's underneath the head, that goes to the neck, the under jawline goes straight back, or in this case, at an angle up. goes up to the jaw like this. Or the jaw goes up to the ear. And same here is straight back, which is an A. Straight back meaning straight down meaning this way. All right. Now I'm going to give this an extra one of these, which is a nice scoop here. There we go, a little bit of Native American face sharpness or something like that, whatever it's called. All right, we'll come back. Wait, before we do, I want to do this. Remember that straight, not straight back, but if you go like this, it's straight back then. That neck, there we go, the jawline. And that's going to be a bit difficult. It's going to be a bit difficult getting that collar in there. But before I do that, I want to take some of this hair off here, because this is the last of the hauling a lot of lumber out. Now I'm going to go this way, because remember his head is turned this way. Therefore, there's going to be more off behind the head at this angle. And then, but then it's going to go at this angle here on the side. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit. I got to get my. I mean, it depends on how thick and how, let's say, luscious you want the hair to be. But I'm going to go more towards a little bit towards the realism. So this is still a caricature. And I don't know if you want. Oh, excuse me, put a little wind in his hair. Yeah, the last of the lumber pushing here. And this is all, I want to say, relatively straight. I mean, if his head is back, usually you can put a little bit of kink in here between the shoulder, but since his head is forward, he's pulling that hair forward. There we go. Getting there. Maybe just a little bit of this off. And I chose to do it this way, to have the Native American man's hair out like that, is because, you know, I've seen a lot of the pigtails and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, well, you can always do that. If you want to put the pigtails on them, go ahead, but it's not too many that are like this now. There's going to be a lot of picking and shaping here. And what I want to do before it gets too late, like I said, I want to do this and this. Like I said, I want to make the change a little bit because of the nose. Where's my V? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to do this instead. And I think there's going to be quite a bit of adjustments going on Where's my V? My medium V, right there. Sort of like a little bit of that going on. There, now it's starting to do a little bit of shaping, but we're going to have to reshape the eyes. The eyes need to be reshaped. Like this. Oops, get those pencil marks off. And again, his head is still a little larger than I'd want, or wider, but the hair, thinning the hair might help out on that. But again, there's quite a bit of shaping and quite a bit of shaping. The head, I think I might have one more hit on the head being forward from the back. One more hit. There, I like that much better. Yeah, I'm just going to have to come back and do quite a bit of shaping to straighten out that head. But I want to put the collar in. Now the vest, I think the way I like the vest is, it's going to come up here. And that's going to bury this arc here. Probably like a little bit like this. And yeah. Now I want to, it's more of a shaping. If I were to just come down a little bit like this. And if I can get in there, and just shape down at an angle, if I can. Again, I can probably do that under the visor. And when I'm doing my straightening out, I think I can get in there. Here's the reason why, since I get this out, let's get in here, let's get some cleaning done here. Let's have that, my little micro, do some cleaning so we can see what the heck we're doing here. Now the shirt collar, let's do this, let's bring this here first. So that's still there. Now the shirt collar, here's the upper, let's hope this isn't going to be a disaster here. Here's the collar. This is the upper part. And since we already got something going here, we can probably use that. See, that's why you got to dig deep here. And where's my another straight tool? Where's my straight tool? No, not that one. Not that one. Oh god, I gotta see everything except what I'm looking for. Oh, there it is. This is a number 5. And right at that pencil mark. is where we want that to be the highest point. That's the highest point. And if you can, come down this way. It's really interesting as you keep taking these chips away around here, you're beginning to see the neck is coming out more and more. Let's use the other one here. Now it's getting more so that even my smaller tool is getting in there. It's still, like I said, it's best if I can use my visor and just come back. Now, while we got this established, the collar kind of established, I want to bring it in just a little. Oops, don't hit that face. Is I want to do this. And I'm doing this. And if I can't get in there, careful. Oh, shoot, I screwed it. Oh, we have to bring the color back a little more. Still got rum. I got the collar going. Again, I just need my visor and my picking tools. Jeez, if I don't keep... I want to put a bend. I want to put a bend to it, a scoop to that, and then I want to bring this up a little bit. Yeah, that is looking horrible right there. Now I still want to remove this. How to get my knife in there to at least lift. There we go, at least to get this lifted. And this push down. I'm just gonna, like I said, I am gonna have to pick. If I can just get the general. It is summer tanager o'clock. We got that going on in there, okay. And then I need to get in. Where's my micro V? If I can just at least get this thing started. And going up. Using the flat edge as a flat chisel. Now I use my round and just micro chisel in there again. Use the flat end to do some cleaning. I think I got the neck might be a little too shallow in there. I think I goofed up with that. But I think if I were to be able to come in and take more off on this side. And again, it is a matter of getting my detailing tools in there. I dug too deep in here. You probably can't see it because of the shade, shadow. So be careful. So be careful with that. And again, I gotta do quite a bit of cleaning up here and again. I'm gonna take the chance and do the eyeballs here with you. Which means, and that means, I am going to have to take my regular glasses off, my regular reading glasses, put my bifocals back on, and put my visors on. Now, before I get to the eyes, I wanted to need to make just a couple more adjustments. One is right here at the cheek. Do a little bit of one more.
Oh, you want the arrow?
No. And you raise it like that, or go down like that. So it'll raise the cheek. Like that. And go just a little bit like that. And we still need to bring, where is my smaller round tools? Where are you? Need to go back up again, or in this case, we need to go back down again. There we go. Like that. And again, a little bit round in this way. Ooh, careful, jeez. What I did right there, that's what I meant by don't be prying or flicking. Could have lifted that up. So I'm relatively fine or okay with it, except I need to prep the eyeballs a little more. I need to go still a little bit more deeper on the eyeballs. On the eye socket area. Okay, where is my, yeah, let's see if this will just a tad bit more deeper in the eye socket is what I needed. Tad a bit more on the eye socket. Maybe a little bit. See, there's still more adjusting here and there because I did take the liberty and got the did some cleaning up and this and that and then all right. Yeah, that's what I did. I cleaned up here and there. I finished the beads. Was there something else that I left behind? I can't remember. Oh yeah, I left this behind. Well, I'll have to, like I said, I'll finish that on my own. But I guess I'll do a couple of more dents, might as well. But I'll finish it on my own. All right. Oh, before I do that, I did also take the liberty to finish his piece of pipe. And what I did was, like I said, 1/4 inch dowel, carefully drilled a hole big enough for a small toothpick, and I did concave the bottom a little bit. I think I need to concave it some more. Kind of at the same time when I cleaned out, you know, when you drill and some of that comes up and you got to clean it out, so I did flatten it a little bit. I think I need some more. And then I carved the mouthpiece. Now I think I might be off by a little bit. Go this way, flat this way. Make sure I have more flat with a little bit of this and a little bit of this. And I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. I did kind of put a little bit of a dent. Let's put this in here. I still put a little bit of a dent going this way, as the picture suggests. So it's a simple, if you want to go more ornate, whatever you want to do. See how it kind of goes down this way and going down this way. Okay, I think I am good, and let us do the eyeballs. And like I said, I got my 5 fogies on, and I'm going to have to use my visor. And it could be, or it could be a disaster. I got to bring this up. Let's pencil in. Let's see, I got to make it so I could see it like this. Therefore, the camera needs, this is perfect for me. Therefore, let's adjust the camera to fit. If I come over this way a little more. I want to be as comfortable as I can doing this, because I don't want to give you a bad deal here. Now that I'm looking closer, I think, let me do this a little bit here, just a little bit more of this. A little bit more right here. And then a little bit more of, where's my really small number 9. I'm going to do this very carefully. Just right there at the eye socket, or the eye. Right there. Bridge of the nose. Got my, holding on to this, my pinky is extended here. All right, here we go. The nose I want, before we go on, a little more like this. Where are you? Careful, I took too much of the nose off. And So I'm just in the nose. And there's some cleanup. Let me clean this. I'll come back to you. As much as I can. Again, I'll probably have to do that. I'll do that later. Let's get to the eyes. All right. There we go. Put that eye line back in. And the nose width should go here. Should be my favorite word. And then the distance between in here is here to here. That'll work. Here to here, give or take, is here to here. Now I am going to start off with the Jeff Farr's eye. I think I need a little bit more distance. A little bit more distance. Okay, what you're going to do is just very narrow, come up and come down. Straight line. Straight line is going to come down. Kind of sharp, semi-sharp, and then like that. Same on this side. Sharp up. Somewhat, by probably barely an eighth of an inch, and then come straight down. It's supposed to be straight, but it'll find its way around. It does. No matter how straight you're on these lines, it'll find its way. One look to make sure everything is fine. Yeah, this one is not very good here. This one. Yeah, I mean, it's like I kind of see what I have to do. It isn't there. One last, one last rub here. Okay. Where are you? Like I said, I can do this on my own. I was just trying to make sure this is on the camera. And so I'm going to do a kind of a nice firm cut here. And then down. Oops, I hit the nose. Here, this is kind of a sharp, somewhat of a sharp down, and then straight line up to there. Same here, just a little straight up and then along. Make sure you rotate, so you don't slip in. And then yeah, straight, kind of longer line, and then up there like that. And let's take a look. I like this eye, but I'm not liking this one here. I think we're going to have to make the adjustments, which is one of the reasons why I like doing thinner eyes, because you keep adjusting and all of a sudden it's not thin anymore. Oops. I'm just trying to straighten it out there. Okay, now what we do is we take the first chip out, first eye rounding process, flip her over, make sure we're right there. That one kind of broke off there, but that's fine. Now I'm going to go from the top Just a little bit, but it's gonna, oh, I'm sorry. Backwards. This to the top, just a little bit. And then down, it's more, you're cutting more down that way. Because the round eyeball, the pupil is supposed to be right here, right there on top. I'm still picking at that nose on the side of my. Other side. Now a little bit more up. So you have some up. And then sharper down. Bigger slope going down than going up. Well, in this case it's going up, but now let's look. Now here it does kind of seem that this eye is higher than that eye. But since it's a, well, I'll just make an extra incision. See if that'll help some. Okay, now I want to take my knife and I want to get the pencil mark off on this side. Flip her over on this side. And the first thing I want to do with the knife, you can do that with a chisel, is just a little scoop here. Just a little bit of a scoop. And we will bring that around chiseling, because here's what's going to happen. After we want our small number 9. Come in doing two things. One, it's continuing to round with the ball, and you're taking the pencil marks off. You get out of there. So you're continuing to round with the ball. I'm getting the pencil marks off. Or an attempt to. Now if you want to, you just barely, I still want this guy, he's not an old man. Since he's got, well, he doesn't make him pretty old and have a young bride and still have, well, oops, I almost gave it away. But at this one here, he's not that old. He's not an old guy. And because with that, I want to take this part off. Begin some of it. This part here off. As much as we can. Then I want to do this. Oops. Yeah, let's do the eyelids next. And I need my smaller, I need my small V, and it is about half the distance of the eye up and down. Half of the eye, you know, this way, half of that, so that you're leaving a nice eyelid. Same here on this side. Oops, need it more rounder. That's the thing. I always have trouble with this eye. It doesn't round as I want it to. I'm going to kind of leave it like that. Like I said, he's not particularly an old man. What do we want to do? One of these, you go straight down right here. And you come up just a little chip. Get that out of there. And a little, it's following that brightlet. That chip out of there. Okay, now with all of this, there'll be some cleaning. And I still want a little bit, I wonder if my small 9, so when I bring it up, because we want to, when we give it a profile, you can still see the eyeball. Now the thing I don't like is this cheek here. Too cheeky here. Take some of the, oh, careful. Just rounding off some of that. See if I didn't run nose, or maybe clean the nose up a little bit. Now let's look, he's a little less cheeky there. See on the other side? Some too much cheek. Just okay, now what are we going to do about that forehead? Well, glad you asked. But before we do anything, let you look at that while I reach down. Give myself a nice swig here of my water. All right. Now what's going to happen is now that that eye, the eye is in, I can start shaping that eyebrow. Now before I put that really eyebrow bone in, I'm going to do a little more shaping because that really, but it is coming down, like I said, like this. So in other words, okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put this in. I'm going to pencil this in. Pencil this in, and I think this and this. And so we're going to go in. We're going to go in. We're going to continue up the nose. I'm just going to take that off in there for now. That is really going to have to be. Now if he had like a hat or something, then it'll go right up to the hat, or that's why it's going to come to just this triangle here. Now I want to round it. Here's what I want to do. I don't want him to be angry. I'm just going to take this off. Bring the nose up some more. Same with on this side. Clean the nose up some more. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Now I want to take, I think what I can do now is to, let's look at that while I take my visor off. I need my visor off now and put on my reading spectacles and get back down. I carve here, then therefore the camera has to be like this. There we go. Now I want to take my Helvie and oops, still not. Kind of bring it up. And what we're doing, flattening the forehead at the same time, bringing that eyebrow bone out. I'll have to adjust the hair a little bit later. We'll make sure that the forehead is right. Now we're getting somewhere. Now it's getting there. I want to turn this, or I probably need to get if a chisel will do that better for you. And a little bit more. Now we're in the realm of shaping. And now another thing I want to do is, to help make him so it's not too angry, is bring up the eyebrow a little bit. There we go. And there's quite a bit of adjusting here and there. It has to take place. Let me see if my round tool will fix this right here. It's a little there. And I took a chunk off, just all right. I'm getting to really like him quite a bit. And really thinking on if there's anything that is really major. This right here. Now, like I said, I did. You'll. It's a good thing that if I go like this, you can't see that. But I did go too far in there. That's the only real screw up that I did. Now I want to fix this. See how the head kind of always turns. I'm so glad it's still turned this way and looking down. But it began to turn. So I'll put this in. This in. There. Now I want to adjust the hair a little bit, or I think I'm pretty well okay with the hair. Like I said, if the hair was up, that's why it's kind of bring that a little bit, maybe another scoop or two here. Alright. Now I want to come in and do a very careful clean and do a shadow at the same time. Just a little more cleaning here. Same with on this side. Bring the hair up. Shadow. It's a little bit adjusting here and there, and I think I better begin to leave it alone. Begin to leave it alone, adjusting. Now the last thing I want to do is the hair. After I take a little bit more of this off and bring it up this way. There. Now, as for the hair, his hair is very straight. You know, unless, I don't know, if he just got up, or number two, he just took he had a braid or two and then he just took it off, but I'm just going to make it as straight as possible. One of these. So it's definitely not going to be a Santa hair. It's going to be just a straight hair, pardon me. All I'm going to do, I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up, or before I do that, let's see how this works. I'll just bring this back, because it separates. Make sure it is separated from the middle. And then I'll take my knife and around it. Pencil mark off, and one more cut. All right, now we're just going to do a straight cut. For a little bit of separation, because it's not perfect. Because I am going to use either a smaller chisel or smaller chisel cuts. See, it comes out. I do want it to come out. Relatively straight. want to get the path of the hair first, because this is just going to come back. All right. Now what would happen if I use my, let's see what this does. So there we go, smaller, it's a smaller V, is what we want. It's not too deep. Oops, hit a wall here. Hit another wall here. Let me get up here first. Again, I'm going to establish, oops, hit another wall. Seem to hit the walls over here. I do want a lot of fine hair in there. All right, now I get in here like this. Same with on this side. All right, I can go on and on. I'll just stop at this. Now the other thing that we need to do, two parts, and that's the inside. I'm going to use this for the inside because I think you get I can get in there better, I think. Same with here. I don't have any control when I got the pinky out there. Doing the pinky out cut. In other words, delicate, being too delicate. Seems to be working fine here. Ooh, careful, I don't like doing that. Keep the sharpness of this V. a little bit more trouble in this hair. And I've always said hair is imperfect. I have to get the knife on and pick on. All right, now here, I'm going to use the bigger V. Where's my, which is going to be the medium V. Till it comes out. I come up a little bit more on that I just, there we go. So it just doesn't look like it's just a quick cut. I gotta come down this way. And I'll have to come back and clean the vest. Okay, now, to make things a little more interesting, we'll do some of this, like I'm doing some of my Santas. A little bit more. There we go. Now I might want to take my V and come in just a little bit here. Make it like it continues on. If we can. And a little bit of cleaning up here. Now the question is, what stone have I left unturned? I mean, like I said, I'm going to have to do some cleaning. I mean, it is mostly cleaned, it's just the face. Just going back and forth and it just is not cooperating. I did a little bit there. All right, now one last hit of the brush. Oh, will he have an eyebrow? That's really interesting. The natives, did they have an eyebrow? They didn't have much of an eyebrow. I'm going to leave it as that. But there he is. Oops, like that. Let's see, is this going to fit in there? I gotta glue that in. Some more adjustments there. Does he look good? Now, does he look this way? Did I forget anything? And that's where I'm going to leave it, right there. He's looking down at you. And there you are, on to the next. And like I've said before, subscribe to scottcarvings.com. The information is down that way. In the description, it'll tell you to send in your email, and you get free free patents. There he is.